Everyone, and welcome back to another aspect of our AutoCAD design series. In the previous aspects, we learned how to use our AutoCAD software, especially AutoCAD 2018, to make 2D designs. And this time around, we'll be learning how to use our AutoCAD to design 3D objects, especially for architectural design. We're designing probably a two-bedroom using the previous plan we used for our 2D. Okay, let's dive right in and see what we have. Now, this is the plan we use for our 2D drawing then. This is the plan. We'll be making use of it also for our 3D design. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do is to create a new sheet by just coming to the plus sign here. We open a new drawing sheet, right? And then similarly to how we did it when we are doing our 2D, in which we created our limits and then unit, we set our unit and limit, and then we'll go ahead to start creating our layers. Okay, let's set our limits. Let's set our lower left corner limit, let's set it to 0, 0, enter, and then our upper limit 1000, 1000. Okay, now let's set our units. Okay, let's change this and then this to millimeters, since our 2D is also in millimeters. Okay, and then we are good to go. So now the next thing for us to do now is we need to copy in our plan, since we've done the plan before, right? Okay, first of all, let me copy it out and then ungroup it. Okay, let me ungroup this. It has been ungrouped, right? Okay, let me copy it. Control C. I'm using Control C for copy, or you can just, after highlighting it, you can just right click and select clipboard and then copy. Okay, and then let's come back to our drawing page here and either Control V or the same thing, right click, clipboard, and then paste. It will ask you where you want to paste it, and then you've pasted it. Now let's zoom in our zoom, enter and extend. Okay, this is our drawing, right? Okay, so what we need to do now is, since we've copied our plan here, all the layers too are copied with it. So what you can just do now is you can go ahead and let's start switching off each of the layers one by one, though not all. Let's regenerate and do something. Okay, okay, and let's go ahead and switch them off. Let's start with dimension. Okay, the furnitures, the hatches, plumbing, the section lines. Let's switch each and everything off. We will not be leaving. Let's switch off the windows and doors for now also, but we'll bring it back. Okay, so let's switch this off also. We are now leaving only our walls out. Now what we have to do now is, actually there are two methods of creating our 3D. The first one is, okay, let's copy this out. For example, let's return the windows first, windows and doors. Okay, now let's copy this out. Let's copy it out. Oh. Now the first method is by leaving it like this and then drawing out each section from the walls to the windows, right? From the walls to the windows like that, and then filling them up later. And the other method is by completely switching off the windows and doors and tracing out your whole walls in full like this. Okay, let's do both and see the differences between the two. Okay, let's now go ahead and start. Let's start from here, but before that we need to create our layer. All right, let's create our layer for our 3D walls. All right, okay, let's go ahead. 3D walls. Then you can either change the color. Any color you are giving it here now will be indicating in the wall. But okay, let's see how it will look like. Let's give it a color first, and then we'll go ahead and let's give it in what in let's give it a green color. Let's see. Though I don't like giving it color because at the end I will later give it material design. Okay, so I just want to give it color now to make you understand how it's going to look like once you give it color, like as if you are giving your walls color. All right, okay, but I'll come back to remove it. Okay, so let's set it as our current layer. Now it is advisable, if we should extrude these walls like this, it will extrude them individually. Okay, now it's advisable to use your polyline to trace out the walls one by one like that. So it's advised to trace them out so that it will extrude everything as a wall. For example, now look at what I'm saying. Let's make this our okay. Now let's try to extrude this design here. Let's extrude it. Now do you see, as we extruded it, see what is looking like. Let's change this. I'll come back to explain the uses of all this. Now do you see that it's not extruding as our wall, right? It's extruding with cavities in between the walls. Look at it. There is a hole in between our walls, right? There are holes in between the walls. Okay, so that's why to it's advisable to use your polyline to trace the wall completely, so you'll be having your fully extruded wall. All right, you have your complete extruded wall. Okay, let's go ahead and select our polyline, and then let's trace our wall out. We started here, we are still coming back here, we are coming back to this end here. So let us just do that. So this is the first method of creating our 3D design. The second method will be explained later. Let's finish this. Though it's still kind of similar, all right, but just little differences. Apart from that, there might be other various methods, right? There is no single entrance to enter a market. There are different methods, but still giving you the same answer. All right. So you can even generate a much easier method of doing that by yourself. The concept is to be fast and to make it simple. You can look for other methods to make it easier for yourself. Understand? So that's just it. But let's complete this and see what we have. Okay. Okay, let's do this also. Okay, here is what we have. This is our 3D wall design is, but we've not extruded this. So now the second method, now let's focus on the second method. Let's return our windows and windows. I want us to do everything simultaneously at the same time. Alright. Okay. So now the second method is similar also, but this time around we'll be stopping at each of our window segments here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Polyline, but it will kind of take a long time. Okay. So oh sorry, that's a mistake. Let's let's do that again. Okay, you know what? Don't let us waste too much time. Let me pause this and finish it up. But I hope you understand how we did it. Let me just pause it and finish it up without wasting much time.